Hi everyone, my name is Emily. In my group I have Alyssa, Maya, Sheila, Parmees, and Crystal. We'll be talking about key elements for effective teams and safe patient care. As a quick overview, we'll talk about the importance of resilience and civility for safe client care. We have our video, then we'll talk about barriers to psychological safety, strategies to improve psychological safety, some barriers to effective communication, strategies to promote civility, and lastly, strategies to promote personal and team resilience. What is resilience? Resilience is the process of adapting and recovering quickly when facing challenges, difficulties, or significant stress. It plays a very important role in providing quality and safe nursing care. Nurses are constantly placed in situations where they have to make a quick decision or judgment call, or quickly prep medications in an emergency situation. There may be new protocols, changing team members and family members, or short staff. Resilience provides nurses the ability to adapt in these high-stress situations. It also increases critical thinking, leading to reduced medication and clinical judgment errors. Resilience can also increase emotional intelligence to promote psychological safety. Nurses develop social awareness skills to read the room and understand power dynamics. If the patient has a family member in their room, are they expressing themselves authentically? Or does the family presence alter the situation? Nurses can also improve their self-awareness and self-management through reflection. It has been found that resilience leads to nurses constantly wanting to improve themselves, such as in their communication and technical skills, to provide better care and better patient outcomes. Resilience also provides nurses with the ability to take care of their mental and physical health. By doing so, it reduces burnout, and nurses are more present in their client care. They have the mental and physical capacity to be empathetic, care more, and provide stable and continuous care. This too creates psychological safety and a trusting relationship between nurse and client.
Civility is generally defined as an attitude of respect towards others, particularly around our differences, often with an emphasis on seeking common ground. Some ways that civility can impact safe client care is through communication. When in an uncivil environment, workers are less likely to share information and ideas for fear of being met with disrespect. Critical information may be missed in an environment where there's poor communication, and that can compromise patient safety. Civility will also impact support from superiors. When met with a lack of support or judgment when speaking up about concerns, workers are less likely to bring up concerns in the future, and this can lead to concerns, issues, and mistakes going unaddressed, and that can lead to compromised patient safety. Civility can also impact morale. Disrespectful and rude behavior in an uncivil environment can cause a decrease in morale, which can lead to decreased work effort and taking frustrations out on patients. Decreased work effort could lead to healthcare workers to miss important concerns regarding the patients and sacrifice client care. Oh, my first day. So excited. Gotta go find my buddy nurse.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
That's okay. I have one patient for you. 415 bed 4. You know her. Karen Smith, 61, female, full code, stable, no isolation precautions, but purple dot.
Okay.
Admitted 3 days ago with the diagnosis of ischemic stroke. You know her history. She had a restless night last night, so I gave her sedative at 0400. Just remember, explain what you're doing with her today, or else she can get a little bit agitated.
Okay.
Good luck with her.
Thanks.
Hi, you're Crystal, right?
Hi, yeah.
My name is Alyssa Skly. I'm a student nurse from BSNC. I believe I'm partnered with you here.
Okay. Are you offloading some of my patients?
Actually, it's my first day, so it's supposed to just be my orientation.
Okay, so what can you do then?
I'm a Term 2 student, so my scope allows me to take vital signs and provide patient care.
Okay. Well, we're really short-staffed today, as per usual. I actually have 6 patients today. What's new? Anyways, do you think you can actually be a big help and go grab some vitals for me? Like, 415 would be really helpful.
Sure. Yeah.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Skly. I'm a student nurse at BCIT.
What do you
I'm
mean?
Just gonna take some.
No, get out. I don't want you in here.
Oh,
No,
okay.
get that out of me.
Okay, I can come back later, and we can do them later. Hi, so I took the vital signs for most of the people in room 4.
That's fine. That's good. I can read it online.
Okay, but in room 415, she was getting aggressive.
You woke her up.
Yeah, you told me to wake her up
Why
and
did
get
you
the
wake
vital
her up?
signs.
We don't have to wake her up. She's really confused and really restless. Why would you do that?
To get the vital signs.
That's okay. That's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Just one more thing.
Hello, somebody help me.
Hey, my mom's at 4:15. I just heard her yelling. Is she okay?
Yeah, no, sorry about that. My student nurse, it's her first day. She tried to take her vitals and she got really agitated. But we're actually gonna go check on her soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So don't worry.
As long as everything's okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. This is why.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Oh, hey, how are you? Hey, dude, my student nurse, she went in and woke up my 4:15.
What?
I know. So my morning has been a shit show. I haven't even went for my break yet. It's been crazy.
Oh no, that's so shitty.
I know, it's really annoying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It
At
is
least
what
you
it
have a
is.
student.
I would rather do it myself. I mean, I can just get it done better and faster and not deal with this. Do you want the student?
Honestly, no, the way you talked about it.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. Let me know if you need anything.
Thanks.
Hey guys, we need to go have a little meeting today. We need to do that now, so drop what you can and attend this meeting.
Another meeting?
Yes, another meeting. We're constantly short-staffed. You guys are calling in sick. This is not okay. We need to talk about this. Is there a student on the floor?
Yeah, is there anything
Yeah,
I
could you
can do to
please just
help
answer the
here?
call bells while we have a meeting?
We don't need more mistakes today.
Yeah,
Okay.
clearly, I heard. Finally getting this over.
Yep. Okay, let's do this.
Barriers to psychological safety. We have identified 4 barriers to psychological safety. The first one is lack of communication. Lack of communication can lead to mistakes and misunderstanding, which reduces trust within the team. An example of that we had was a lack of communication between the ESN and the nurse when it came to assigning the ESN a patient, and the nurse avoided telling the ESN about the patient being agitated. The second one is the lack of collaboration. Lack of collaboration creates a barrier to psychological safety by restricting open communication, trust, and teamwork. An example of that we had when the ESN reports back and about the patient being agitated, the primary nurse reacts negatively. Instead of working together to solve the problem or provide guidance, the nurse criticizes the ESN, missing an opportunity to collab together. Third is lack of leadership support. Without a strong leadership support, individuals who are part of the team will feel unsupported and will not know who to turn for support. For example, during the meeting, the charge nurse addresses frustration about the lack of teamwork and acknowledges the staff's frustration, but does not have any solutions or support or resources for them. The fourth one is a high level of stress. This creates fatigue and cognitive issues, which also leads to burnout. An example of this is the primary nurse mentions that she has 6 patients and expresses frustration about being short-staffed to the charge nurse. A heavy patient load combated by staffing issue increases the nurse's workload and stress levels, making it challenging for them to provide patients with good quality of care. Strategies to improve psychological safety. We have 4. The first one is encourage open dialogue. This means fostering an environment where team members feel safe to ask questions, seek help, and share thoughts without fear of judgment. For example, implementing regular check-ins where both the primary nurse and the student nurse can discuss their concerns and ask for support. Second one is model vulnerability. This means leaders and senior staff should model vulnerability by sharing their personal challenges and mistakes, which would create a culture of learning and mutual support. For example, if the primary nurse had shared her personal experiences and mistakes of handling a difficult patient to show the student nurse that learning is a part of the process, this could have helped the student nurse feel less isolated and more willing to ask questions. Third, provide constructive feedback. Offering feedback is supportive and aimed at growth rather than criticism that can shut down communication and learning. For example, when addressing the incident with an agitated patient, the primary nurse should have provided the feedback in private, focusing on what the student can learn from this experience. Fourth, promote inclusivity. This means ensuring that all team members, including students and other staff, feel valued, respected, and their contributions are acknowledged.
In order for communication to be effective, it must be between 2 people. Both sides ask clarifying questions, voice their viewpoints, exchange information, and fully grasp and understand each other's meanings without interrupting one another during the conversation. The 4 barriers for effective communication are number 1, high workloads and time constraints, which leads to higher risk for miscommunication and mistakes such as reduced time for thorough documentation. Short-staffed and high workloads lead to fewer interactions between staff members, therefore affecting patient care. Number 2, emotional and psychological stress. Nursing is a stressful and demanding career. Stress and burnout impair communication skills and abilities and can lead to misinterpretation of information, and it can harm interpersonal relationship and affect overall communication quality with others. Number 3 is hierarchical structures. In healthcare settings, it can hinder open communication. Lower level employees may be reluctant to bring up issues or recommendations with higher level employees. Important information may not be communicated, again affecting patient safety. Language and cultural difference is number 4. Nurses frequently interact with colleagues from diverse cultures and languages. Language and cultural differences can lead to misunderstanding, which can hinder effective communication. Potter and Perry mention eye contact in some cultures shows respect and willingness to learn, while in others eye contact may be considered intrusive or threatening.
So we're going to talk about some strategies to promote civility, relating it back to our skit. So the first one would be to welcome newcomers. In the skit, the primary nurse starts off by throwing the ESN off into the deep end. There is no orientation, no explanation, or context about the V-alerted patient. This could have actually been really harmful towards both the ESN and the patient if the patient actually became physically aggressive. The second point is to be professional and arrive early. The primary nurse in the skit, she rushed in at 06:58. Although this wasn't late, technically, she was cutting it close, and so she was in quite a rush just to receive a report and get her shift started. So with the primary nurse being in a rush, this actually contributed to her incivility towards the ESN because of the time constraints. The third point would be to acknowledge your mistakes. Professionalism and accountability are some of the key attributes of nurses, and this is what the primary nurse failed to do. Primary nurse got upset with the ESN for waking up the V-alerted patient, and by failing to acknowledge that this was her mistake and passing the blame off to the ESN, this contributes to a poor work morale where staff may have difficulty admitting to mistakes, which can actually hinder their growth and lead to patient harm. The last point would be to refuse to participate in gossip. So there's a scene where the colleague nurse and primary nurse are chatting, and the primary nurse is complaining about the ESN, saying she would rather not have the ESN's help. Colleague nurse was a bit more passive, but she did agree and say she didn't want the ESN's help either after hearing the way the primary nurse described her. Later during huddle, primary nurse said to the ESN, "We don't need any more mistakes." And charge nurse agreed and said, "Yeah, I heard."
Okay, so now we're going to take a moment to talk about some strategies towards building resilience. First up, personal resilience. One strategy is to make connections and build relationships. So that's with your family, with your friends, learning to accept help, but also give help to others when they need it. According to the American Psychological Association, having caring and supportive relationships, both in and out of the family, is the number one factor in developing trust, role models, and encouragement, all of which are really important in building and developing personal resilience. The second thing to do is to try to maintain a positive self-image and develop your self-confidence. Recognize your strengths. What do you appreciate about yourself? What are your unique abilities? Try to stay realistic about your limitations and focus on your assets. If you take a look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs here, you can only self-actualize after your self-fulfillment needs are met. So that means looking at your psychological needs, your safety needs, your belonging needs, and your self-esteem. And part of that, you can turn to the people around you for help. And the third tip I'll give here is to develop your capacity to set and move towards realistic goals. So remember, it's going to take a lot of small steps. And next up, we're going to talk about some strategies for promoting team resilience. So these are the 3 M's as discussed by Gallagher and all. Number 1, minimize, preparing for challenges, trying to prevent them, and having contingencies in place. So having a plan to deal with things when they come up. That'll really help the team weather the storm of challenges and build resilience through it. Identifying early warning signs, assessing current capacities, these are all important elements in this part of the plan. Number 2, manage, recognize, and mindfully navigate stressors as they occur. So team huddles to bring people together, acknowledging chronic stressors, how they compound, encouraging team members to ask for help, give help to one another, sound familiar like the previous slide, and also remembering to maintain efficient normal functioning, trying not to let things slide when things get tough. Number 3, mend. So that's recovering and learning from these experiences, taking time with the team to debrief, we've done a lot of that this semester, and reflect on what went well, what are some areas for improvement. Address team concerns, express appreciation. One thing to note is that a leader who exemplifies this can really set the tone for the team.